and in this section we will begin looking at the relationship between two variables. Specifically, we are going to consider one variable to be the input and the other. This is Jennifer Bohart from SCC, and in this section we will begin looking at the relationship between two variables. Specifically, we are going to consider one variable to be the input and the other the output. Now, in most situations, the input is what is given or what is known. The output is then measured from a given input value. Now, one of the ways of representing this relationship between an input variable and an output variable is a table of values like the one shown in example 1. Here, the column on the left lists the input values. The column on the right represents the output values. Now, each row gives you a specific case of or pairing of an input value with its corresponding output value. Each of these cases can be written together as an ordered pair. In an ordered pair, you have the input value, which always comes first. I'm going to write it here, and its corresponding output value, which always comes second. That is the order of an ordered pair. So in this first row, we have the input is 4, the output is -3. The ordered pair would then be 4, -3. The 4 comes first because it's the input, the -3 comes second because it is the output. In the next row, the input is 5, the output is 8, so the ordered pair would be 5, 8. Working the other way, here we have the ordered pair 0, -4. We know that the 0 is the input simply because it comes first. The -4 is the output. In the last row, we have -2, 6. The -2 is the input value. The 6 is the output value. Now, a graph can make this relationship between an input variable and an output variable easier to see. In a graph, which is always drawn in what we call the rectangular coordinate system, we have two number lines, one number line representing the input, the other representing the output. Now, the input is always graphed horizontally. It is always graphed on the horizontal axis. The output is on the vertical axis. So that is how you know on a graph which is which is the input, which is the output. The input is always horizontal, the output is always vertical. Now, these two number lines intersect at what is called the origin of the graph, and the origin always occurs at the point 0, 0. The point where the output is 0, the input is 0. That is where the two lines intersect in the Cartesian coordinate system. Now, each of the ordered pairs from the table in example 1 can be plotted on a graph. An ordered pair gives you an address of a specific spot in the Cartesian plane. So starting with this first one, we have 4, -3. 4 is the input value, so we locate that on the horizontal axis. -3 is the output value, so we locate that on the vertical axis. The point goes right in line with the 4 and the -3, so the point would go directly under the 4 and directly to the right of the -3. This is the point 4, -3. Same procedure for any ordered pair. You have here the point 5, 8. Locate the input value of 5, the output value of 8, and your point would be right here. Here is the point 5, 8. Now, 0, -4, remember 0, the input value of 0 is going to be right here at the origin. So the -4 is your output value. You're going to locate the -4 on the vertical axis. Your point actually goes right on this axis. So the point 0, -4 is plotted right there. The last one, we have negative 2, 6. Locate the negative 2 on the input axis, the 6 on the output axis. Here is your point. There is negative 2, 6.